Welcome back to WCS America. That was close, man.
That was
close. 25 seconds. I got it in there, though.
I pounded the desk so hard.
Let's go.
Because I wasn't saying. I was watching.
Let's go
I didn't
ahead.
say anything.
Oh, man, I almost lost that on the first game. Damn. Woo.
You know, there was a really cool thread on Reddit that's pretty recent. They were saying, "Hey, Chinese Taiwanese players are pretty good."
Yeah, that
And
scene's developing nicely.
The first comment was, "It's just that we don't have exposure to the Western scene, or they don't have exposure to the Western scene." I think there's a little bit to both of that. I think the Chinese scene and the Taiwanese scene has been developing quite nicely as of late. But at the same time, we don't know how fast or how slow they're developing. It looks like they're developing pretty fast, Ben.
Drunkenboi spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Altrazim Stronghold, and up in the top left is, of course, TooDMing with all 1,500 of his EPM. And yeah, Andre, I agree with you. There's a lot of great development there. If you guys at home are interested in following some of the great Taiwanese and Chinese StarCraft that's been happening, check out twitch.tv/BreakerSC2, I believe is the correct Twitch channel. Breaker has been casting the TESL and other Chinese and Taiwanese competitions. Breaker, actually, as far as I know, an American kid who lives in Oklahoma, fluent in Chinese, and has been doing some work with those scenes. So
Breaker SC2
if you would like to learn more about these Asian StarCraft players from Taiwan and China, then I advise you go check out Breaker. We might even have a chance to speak with him some tomorrow when we do the group drawings for Premier League. For now, it looks like standard play from both sides of the map. Altrazim Stronghold, the biggest map in the current WCS pool, I think. I don't know if it's actually bigger than Frost. They're both very big maps. But certainly the one that is most prone to this kind of stuff because of the in-base natural expansion. Unassailable for all intents and purposes, at least in the early game. So he'll be going CC first and back while walling off in the front. This is basically going to be a normal game. You just start with 2 bases.
Yes. And normally that will favor, I would say, the Zerg player because they want to get to that end game stage the fastest. Normally mid-game is where Terran really takes off. Although we've seen some really cool end game stuff as well with the speed medevacs just making it impossible for Zergs to take 6-7 bases. But I think Zergs have been able to stabilize a lot better these days. Mutas are just so active, and people are realizing they don't have to keep all 50 mutas in the same group. They can split them up a little bit and cover 2 lanes to kill single medevac drops or double medevac drops.
25 mutas, kill medevacs just as fast as 50.
I would say so.
Still just 1 shot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
That's all you need, Ben.
So it looks like we're
Check
going to be
that.
seeing a pretty quick factory here out of Drunkenboi. Haven't seen any mech play from Drunkenboi, and it just might not be his style. But
I hope we don't see mech on this map.
this would be a tricky place to pull it off.
I mean, there's only one player in the world that plays mech on this map.
Avillo.
Below StarCraft 2. I would say his EV on this map, not so good.
You have to choose a bet.
Oh, I do.
It's right now 3-2.
Okay, let's do... I don't want to do, like, units lost. Okay, I'll just do the game ends on... Oh, you can't do game ends on. Okay, units lost, add them up, is an even number at the end of the game.
I feel like you're baiting me with something here.
No. Units lost, add them up, it's an even number, that's all.
Is there any instance where it's not an even number?
Cancel. There's cancel, there's killed stuff, there's banelings, 25-25. Stuff like that.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Cool.
Show me an odd number, StarCraft 2. As we see the 3rd command center finishing up already for Drunkenboi, 3rd hatchery halfway complete already for TooDMing. This is going to be a big macro game. And you say you think it favors Zerg. I actually think this favors Terran a little bit. Terran with an uncontested 3 bases is just brutal to play against, in my opinion.
But you could look at it as a Zerg with uncontested 4 base.
Perhaps.
Right.
But I don't know that we're going to see an uncontested 4 base out of TooDMing.
Wow, double evos popping up here pretty early, 7 minutes. 7 minutes, like 15 seconds they were started. No lair still, Ben. So we're going to see just... well, we could see missile attack coming out of this. And going for a big roach push.
He's probably going to go with Zergling upgrades. This could be a good setup for a 1-1 Baneling speed timing. This could be a good setup for a 2-2 Baneling timing. This could also be a great setup for just a standard macro game where he gets lots of upgrades.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, there was a bit of time in the Wings of Liberty era when Infestors were first getting popular that a lot of players were skipping layer in favor of early hatch tech upgrades.
Not a big fan, though. I love dem layer. Just got to get those mutas out ASAP, in my opinion. Just because, especially on a big map, it's so good to be putting on pressure while they're being so greedy, they're being so abusive, trying to get as many units out as possible, but at the same time focusing only on economy. Hey, you don't have enough units to cover all this space, so my mutas, even if it's 7, they're going to kill some SCVs. They one-shot SCVs. It's still going to be good enough.
4th hatchery is building right now for TooDMing. So he's going to be working his way up to a very big, powerful mid-game. Not sure why he wants to clear these rocks, but...
Hellions are approaching into the 3rd base. Not going to be really doing all too much, as they're going to be batted away pretty easily here. Zerglings that were killing the rocks are going to die. Barbecue.
Man, this build from TooDMing looks so much like an old Damaga build where he would go for fast upgrades like this. He would get 2-2. He'd make about 7 mutas in fake muta play and then just go all out like 60, 70 banelings and bust with +2/+2. Freaking awesome build. And one that we haven't seen in a long time. Never really popular outside of the European server for a very small period of time. But man, Dima had some great success with it during that era. 15 more drones on the way for TooDMing. This could be a bit of a mistake, as we do see Drunkenboi pushing out on the map right now with Hellions, Marines, and Medivacs.
Depends. There is 30 seconds before this 1-1 finishes, so this can be an anti-timing, as 1-1 is already finished for the Zerg player. But it looks like... Oh, there's the big stim! And 4 seconds. Okay, he's going to be fine. He's going to be absolutely fine.
And these Hellions are doing a pretty good job of thinning out the Baneling numbers, getting some good splash damage down. While the Marines are beginning to work their way forward. 42 Speedlings are about to hatch.
Pop. Here they pop.
And that is going to definitely force Drunkenboi out.
Yep, it's going to force him out. There's the liftoff. Hot pickup over to potentially the 4th base. Yeah, the 4th base. And it's already accurately saturated. 2-2 has not been started for the Zerg player yet. Again, he keeps doing this. He keeps not keeping up with his upgrades, and it's coming to affect him in the big game stage.
There's almost no sense in getting the fast 1-1 if you're not going to get a fast 2-2.
Yes, agree.
Might as well just get the layer a little bit quicker. So, in my opinion, there's the 2-2 starting. So it was a mistake, but not a big one. He just missed it by a few seconds. As we're going to see continued aggression onto this 4th expansion. And man, this has been so easily repelled, and in the end you were right. This is pretty much an uncontested 4th base. Drunkenboi is going to continue trying to stream across the map. But TooDMing has a ridiculous economy and an unparalleled ability to produce units right now. 14 larvae available to him. That translates to quite a few lings, if that's what he wants it to be.
Double attack, though. One at the 3rd, one at the 4th base. We'll find out if they're able to do damage. Now killing an Overlord. This shouldn't do that much. Oh, man. Drunkenboi not paying attention to the front army.
Yep, looking away.
Obliterated.
That said, he's doing nice damage here at the 4th, and if he can deny this expansion, this might have been worth it. At the same time, going to get a couple of Mutalisk kills as well. That's very nice, but TooDMing, Johnny on the spot with his reaction to the aggression, does get units over here and does chase that way.
And this is nice, killing the Medivacs, killing the Marines, just making sure there's... it's not no more multi-pronged attacks, just it's limiting the capabilities. Drunkenboi not looking so good, as you can see, resources lost tab.
I feel like Drunkenboi has made a bit of a mistake trying to be aggressive off of 3 bases on this map. This is such a long push. so very difficult to surprise your opponent with anything.
Timings do not exist on this map, Ben. If they do, you're rolling a very, very loaded dice.
Probably far better to just continue expanding.
Correct.
Continue getting your upgrades. Finish that 3-3 as fast as you can, and then really take advantage of the great Terran late game.
2-2 has finished for the Terran. 2-2 is on the way and almost finished, I should say, for the Zerg player. I think this just straight up favors Zerg in this position. I mean, they can do so much with the Mutises. All he needs to do is have one equalizing push, and look, he even has Infestation Pit already finished. He can get that hive. He's got it immediately. I mean, TooDMing is playing this out so freaking well.
This has gone great. He had the early game of the dreams are made of, and he's now having a fantastic mid game as a result of that. Going to try and get some good connections here. Finally, Drunkenboi gets some reasonable Widowmine shots. Unfortunately, the Zerg swarm is just too much.
But the fourth base is under attack right here. Does he have stuff in play? Yes. Nice Baneling connections over there.
Do connect. This Spinecrawler is going to get a few Marine kills. Every single headbutt.
Oh, he just backs up.
Knocks down a Marine.
And Drunkenboi yet again pushing out onto the map. Oh, no. Big pickoff. And both medevacs will go down with all of its cargo.
Man, this is a great game for TooDMing. Drunkenboi is in a lot of trouble right now, Andre.
I would agree.
Resources lost. An even number. I swear I feel set up on this one.
No, I just saw look, odd number. Even number.
All right.
Keeps changing, Ben.
All right. I need somebody to do something that results in a 3 somewhere.
that would be unfortunate.
5 and 3 is still 8. So that doesn't change anything. What? Well, I don't know.
It's okay, Ben.
At least you didn't bet on a prime number.
That would not have worked well, Ben. Because every number is divisible by 5.
All right.
Anyway. I mean, what it comes down to is TooDMing is just continuing his advantage. His creep spread is very, very decent now, getting his additional bases. But what is his win condition? Let's talk about that, because he's getting a lot of good trades, but is he able to win? Is he able to cross the map and attack off creep onto like a base?
It's a pretty good point. Muta's got to be careful. How does he plan on winning in the late game? If he's going to try to go up to Ultralisks, there's a point that Ultralisks are effective. There's also a point shortly thereafter where they start losing their efficacy very quickly.
Yes.
And against 3-3 Bio, I mean, the difference between those 2 points in the game is very narrow. So we see a couple of Marines scouting out this new expansion.
I mean, if the Terran plays it right, he should never be in a situation where he's going to die to a counterattack. You can very, very easily put yourself in a position where you always have a lot of space that your opponent has to work up onto. TooDMing can go for a big base race and try to trade bases, but I don't think that normally works with Terrans. I think the best way for him to do it is to actually tech into the Ultras, as you were saying, and try to get this overwhelm mass feeling. It's hard to do, and I think it still relies on the Terran.
You know, the more I think about this map, the more I feel like it's just very difficult to attack for anybody on this map because of the certainly cross spawn. The attack distances are so incredibly long.
Banelings into the Planetary Fortress over here.
You're getting a lot of SCV kills. Planetary is not going to burn down, of course, with units there to repair. Both players have maxed out, and I think we got a pause request.
Paused.
And I think that wait, says TooDMing in all caps. Lost my train of thought there. Anyway, just the way the map is set up, it's such a large map. It's very difficult to attack for anybody, and either side that is defending has a lot of time to react. I think that what Drunkenboi has done here is he's kind of recognized that his aggression wasn't really working out, and now he is sitting back and playing that long game.
He's doing it right. What both players are looking for is, I say this time and time again, but map control. Map control enables you to attack your opponent. And right now, the Terran has that. Now he's playing this very passive-aggressive style where it's like, I'm going to attack you. Nope, you come into me, and then he micros off creep. That's awesome. That is absolutely the way to play a ZVT. How does TooDMing go about removing map control? And I think the best way to do this is expand to one portion of the map and attack on that side at the same time.
Well,
and what you're going to do is give up a lot of expansions on one side.
This
like
is
this
also going to work very well.
This is what you want. You want to undermine the attack, but also you want to be expanding at the same time. And obviously he will be losing the left base, or theoretically he should.
Terran army so slow. It's going to take a long time to get back, and there's going to be a lot of SCVs killed. Command center is going to go down.
Oh.
Some of these reinforcing units are going to go down. This is an excellent little fight for TooDMing, and this is exactly what he needs to be doing here, Andre.
That's
and you
right.
know what? He can swing from here down into this expansion and pick off 2 more command centers very easily if the Banelings decide to connect.
Oh, but the mutas need to get out of the firefight. Holy moly.
Man, that was a great idea. Terrible execution on that idea.
Yeah, 13 mutas live after that. 12 Zerglings have been started. There's 60 in production just before, and 6 Ultralisks as well. So, you know, Drunkenboi does lose his 3rd and 4th base there. That's pretty brutal. And TooDMing can do that all day, every day. All he has to do is start killing some of these rocks and do these back attacks.
Oh, don't want to clump up against the Thor. Takes a little bit more damage than maybe he should there. Does pick off the Thor. It's a big ultra switch. This is something we talked about earlier. And that can definitely be effective, but it's only going to be effective for so long. And honestly, maybe that window's already shut with this much 3/3 bio out on the map.
Well,
this is a maxed
but there are no Marauders.
Terran army.
He needs Marauders in the army.
I don't even know if that's necessarily true, because there's no way to lock down these Marines. We'll have to wait and see how Drunkenboi handles it. One thing that we can say is that his army control has not been perfect in this series thus far.
I would be very critical on his Widow Mine control, if anything. We've just been seeing a lot of very questionable positions coming out of those Widow Mines and being super ineffective like this. Like,
yeah, exactly what you were just talking about.
Does not work out too well. And now just moving on in. 0 cares in the world.
Ultra's like, sup, bro? I'm an Ultra. Drunkenboi trying to do something about this expansion, but it's going to be tough as the army of TooDMing is trying to pick a fight. We've got a maxed out Zerg against a Terran player who's hurting for cash, quite frankly. He's reestablished these bases, but he's not mining there. And here comes TooDMing. The Marines are going to kite backwards for as long as they can.
Meanwhile, a hatchery was taken out in the top middle position, and also in the middle left.
And there's a drop heading here to the top center as the army of TooDMing continues to give chase to Drunkenboi. Drunkenboi yet to decide where he wants to make his stand. Finally, he turns to fight, and TooDMing's got a long way to trek home if he wants to defend this.
Oh, man.
This hatch is going to go down.
Definitely need a lot of stationary defense. Stationary defense. One person that really comes to my mind when talking about this is Cats. Cats loves to put spine crawlers everywhere. Really values the importance of having your army flexible. And you can only have your army flexible if they're not always reacting and defending.
What Cats would probably say is when you get in this sort of a situation, we have 4,000 minerals and you're maxed out. This is where you start recycling drones. You just take every drone you have, build a bunch of spine crawlers, and then replace those drones because you've got basically infinite money. We're seeing a little bit of that right now from TooDMing. He's making spines in excess at this expansion, but he hasn't done much to protect the ones at the top half of the map. As we do see another big engagement shaping up. Marines and Marauders trying to kite this army as well as they can. It's tough with the Banelings in the mix. Oh, man, and another little bit of a fumble there with the army control as TooDMing wins another big fight. And Andre, I'm feeling more and more like this game might just be over, as Ultras will once again come crashing into this expansion.
Killing all the SCVs, killing the Planetary Fortress. Not even going to lift off here. Of course, there's still the mutas up on top. All Banelings all day long, but the main base and the 4th base has been cleaned, or the 4th base has been cleaned up. Now the main base is being worked on, and this is exactly what Drunkenboi needs. Get into that base trade scenario and really try to do something nasty. But so many Banelings, Zerglings now gathering up with the mass Ultras. This is looking like a very scary army at 118 supply. What can Drunkenboi do? Ben, I would say nada.
It's not looking like there are many answers, as Banelings are going to deal with anything on the ground. Ultras are going to deal with anything left over on the ground. And this command center is going to be forced to lift off. That's a pretty good fight for Drunkenboi with everything on the high ground. He actually didn't have to engage directly with any of his units. And he did a reasonable amount of damage with this drop, but at the end of the day, this has all been cleaned up. And Drunkenboi is just not able to secure bases. This is has looked like a very difficult game for Drunkenboi.
I think the perfect transition out of Ultras is actually into Mutas, which sounds kind of weird, but you're kind of compensating for, not compensating, but you're playing towards the Marauders that are just so effective against those Ultras. You want to skew that distribution yet again and say, no, make more Marines, because even if you attack, my Mutas are going to be so powerful. And with the amount of gas and minerals that you have, this is if you look at the mineral gas, that's a 23 Muta switch that I can go into on top of
lost right now an
4.
odd number. I would not feel bad about a GG.
We'll find out, Ben. As
Even.
A double medevac drop is
Oh,
getting
no.
over here.
Don't GG yet, son. I think even was a really good bet for you.
I think so too.
Only thing that
I
dies
didn't know.
in odd numbers is
Just to let you
Zerglings and Banelings. Maybe not even Banelings.
Yeah, but I mean Zerglings, they die so fast.
There's been a lot of Lings made this game.
Right? They die so fast. Because of the Zerglings,
I don't
it becomes
think
50-50.
anything has been canceled this game.
Well, doesn't matter. Because of Zerglings, it's a 50-50, basically. How many Zerglings die? Is it odd or even? That's what you're asking, Ben.
Fair point, Andre, as we have a maxed out Zerg once more. Drunkenboi is doing his best to stay in this thing, but this is difficult indeed. 19 mutas on the production tab, so I guess TooDMing adheres to the Greetorp school of thought that mutas are the next best transition.
Think so, man.
If this was not the largest map I had ever seen, I would say Broodlords might be better,
Yeah,
but they are never going to ever kill anything on this map.
They'll never catch up with anything, that's for sure. That is for sure. Muta's going to just deny this yet again, but over on the mid left-hand side, that group of Marines and medevacs are going to be able to do damage against this one hatchery. Probably take it down, too.
Yep. This hatch is going to get taken out, but Drunkenboi denying economy, what is he really achieving with this? As TooDMing is so rich, and
I wouldn't say so rich, right? I mean, it is 1,000 minerals, but what are you going to do with 1,000 minerals? The gas is what's most important, and just that consistent flow. I think it's still very important to deny economy on a Zerg, because his actual income isn't that great.
That's
And
fair.
if we look at the army tab right now, 147 supply.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big army. And Drunkenboi's army is not tiny. He's got 99 army supply. The issue is he's just got no way of producing at this point. And this has almost been a recurring feeling in this series. Once more, mutas are going to fly into an exposed expansion. SCV is going to go down. This command center may very well fall as well. We do still have aggression from Drunkenboi here in these medevacs. And his army has pushed out for one final attempt at taking down this game. He's just going to give up the main.
Yeah, I think he feels so comfortable with dealing with this. But do you know what I would love? Just burrowed banelings everywhere.
Burrowed ultralisk ambush.
But I mean, there's no orbital command centers anymore. Right.
Yep. Once the last orbital dies, burrowed banelings are almost checkmate because you can never reveal them. But I hear a
there's one
scan.
more. There's one more.
The last.
Yeah, I forgot.
The last of the orbitals.
Kill it! And then you can burrow everywhere.
I don't think that's even going to be necessary, Andre, as for Drunkenboi to win, he has to push on the creep, and to push on the creep, he has to fight against this.
Oh my god. That is alarming. I think just the Zergling Baneling would be enough to kill all that, let alone the Ultras. 46 Zerglings in production right now.
Last orbital did go down, by the way.
Income tab showing 28-3, so you can see how large that Zerg army really is.
Resources lost is even right now.
Oh,
Now it's odd.
We're going to find out, Ben. Banelings moving on in, and we know this is a formality. Widowmite's not able to get the money connection.
It's odd!
Are you kidding me?
It's odd.
Congratulations, TooDMing. Don't know how to play with your banelings and stuff.
Well played, TooDMing takes out Drunkenboi with a score of 3-1. And with an odd resources loss count at the end of things.
You're up 3-2.
4-2.
3-2. You have to do the whole night with the score thing.
3 took. Okay, I don't.
3-2.
Numbers are hard. I'm gonna let you keep
It's
count.
3-2.
And let everyone else know that it is time for us to take a very short break. We got another great match coming up, though. It's going to be Tassadar versus Jigwa, so a Korean player up against a Chinese player. Promises to be a lot of fun. Guys, stick with us. WCS America is going to be right back.